Here.
Mr. Engel?
Here.
Mr. Hopkins?
Here.
Mr. Westbrook?
Here.
Mr. Poser is absent.
All right, we have on the agenda approval of the September 15th, 2014 Planning Commission meeting minutes.
Completely enclosed.
Yeah, we don't have enough members here.
Okay. That's why it's still there. I was looking at it, wondering, I remember. All right, moving on. The first item on the agenda this evening is proposed signs for the new get-go, 265 East Highland Road. Do we have anybody here from them?
No, they've tabled that till next meeting.
Thank you. Moving on to proposed changes for existing Verizon equipment at Bellevue Road. Anybody here?
They don't have anybody coming tonight either.
Do I have a motion to,
what, table it?
yeah,
They requested that we pass it. They spoke with, I think, Kayla about it.
all right, well then, how about if we start off, Brian, did you have anything on that?
Mr. Mayor, I do have a report dated March 10th, 2015. This is for an equipment change, 9683 Valley View. The applicant's proposing to replace equipment on an existing 228-foot tall telecommunications tower, again located at 9683 Valley View. An application dated February 10th, 2015, and the site plan June 2nd, 2014 were reviewed. The application proposes the removal of an existing mounting frame and 12 communication antennas. Once those items are removed, a new mounting frame that's customized to accommodate 12 new communication antennas will be erected. The application doesn't specifically state the reason, but it's assumed that the changes are being made to upgrade technology, which is a very common trend seen industry-wide throughout the country at this point. So I felt that the request is very basic, doesn't appear to violate any applicable zoning code provisions, and can be approved as submitted subject to a final review and approval by the city engineer, specifically taking a look at the structural stability of the tower to accommodate the 12 new antennas.
Very good, thank you. Dave, usually if we don't have somebody here, it's not unusual for us to take a look, but there's extenuating circumstances. Janelle, could you read that Katie's report?
Sure. I have reviewed the submittals on the March 16th Planning Commission agenda and offer the following for the Commission's consideration. Proposed changes for existing Verizon equipment at 9683 Valley View Road. Conceptual plan approval is recommended. A detailed engineering review will be conducted prior to issuance of any zoning permits in order to ensure compliance with CO 113705. A copy of the structural analysis report will be required to complete the engineering review in order to ensure that there are no structural issues with the proposed modifications.
Dennis, anything? Pat?
No, sir.
All right. We have nobody here to ask questions of, so the only thing I can ask the commission is if you would be interested in a motion that would be based on the engineer's recommendations. In other words, if it was okay with the engineer, it would be okay with us.
Yeah, we've had a few of these various times, and I can't remember if someone's come in before, but usually the recommendations are there's nothing wrong with it as long as engineer says it's structurally okay, they'll review the calculations, we're usually okay with it. I think we've done that in the past. It's probably why Kayla mentioned it, made it need to be here, but I don't have any questions. I'd make a motion to approve contingent on engineering's approval of the structural calculations.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Changes are approved by the planning commission, but make sure it says contingent upon following the engineer's recommendations. Okay, Jeanette? All right, next is proposed new co-location on existing tower. including shelter at 126 East Highland. Is this the same type of setup?
It's similar, but I think they have a record.
Oh, you have someone?
Yes, sir.
There you are.
Do you need me to give my name and address and all that good stuff?
No, come on, sit over here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do that.
we're good. Hi.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Very good.
Good, thank you for having me.
What's your first?
My first name is Mike.
Mike, so you're the guy that's on the contact? Very good. All right, do we have any comments from Brian?
I do, Mr. Mayor. March 11th memo, co-location of equipment, 126 East Highland. The proposal is to co-locate new antennas onto an existing communications tower. In addition, a new equipment shelter is being proposed. The property is zoned general industrial and communication towers are permitted by right in this district. The commission may remember this particular site about a year ago. Sprint made an upgrade to this tower and did receive approval from Planning Commission. This application does not propose any removal of equipment, but rather the addition of new equipment and antennas. It looks like they're going to be leasing some additional space on the site to accommodate this technology. From a planning and zoning perspective, there's really no issues with the presentation and proposal. And quite frankly, co-location is the ideal or preferred method rather than the construction of new towers to accommodate technology. So recommendation is for approval, again, subject to a final analysis by engineering for the structural stability for these new antennas.
Thank you, Brian. Janelle, would you read next comments, please?
Engineering is in receipt of detailed development plans per requirements of CO 113705. A detailed structural analysis report has been provided with this application. Conceptual plan approval is recommended. A detailed engineering review will be conducted prior to issuance of any zoning permits in order to ensure there are no structural issues with proposed modifications.
And this, anything further?
No, nothing from me.
Don?
No, sir.
We're good. All right, any questions from the commission? None?
So besides this tower, there is something else going on? Is it some kind of?
There's gonna be a new concrete pad, and then there's also going to be a prefabricated poured concrete shelter that's also gonna be put there just for them to put their radio equipment.
Okay. Something that was not like gonna be
No,
hanging out on a regular basis.
No, it's a pretty standard installation, especially for Verizon. I think Brian, you said that we are expanding the lease area, so the fence is gonna bump out a little bit. That's already been negotiated with our landlord. But really pretty straightforward.
Any other questions, comments,
Okay with that.
motions?
I'll make a motion we approve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There you go, Mike.
Thank you, gentlemen, I
Have a
appreciate
nice
it.
evening.
Yeah, you too, thank you.
All right, next is a proposed sign for Fantastic Sam's Hair Salon. That's you? Come on down. All right, comments, Brian?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My report, March 10th, Fantastic Sam's, 746 East Aurora Road, Unit 3. The applicant's proposing a new wall sign on their tenant space in the Macedonia Town Square Retail Plaza. That's Unit 3. The sign contains 2 lines of text. The first line of text reads Fantastic Sam's. It's about 19.04 square feet, and the second line of text reads Hair Salons, and that's about 9.53 square feet. In total, we're looking at about 28.57 square feet for the proposed sign. The sign will have white faces with black trim caps and black side returns. I did review this for compliance with the Macedonia Town Square criteria, and the sign substantially complies with the requirements, with a couple very minor issues. The trim cap proposed at black needs to be dark metallic gray as required by the criteria, and the side returns also proposed as black needs to be dark metallic gray as required by the criteria. And they just had a real minor, just a discrepancy shown on the plan. So if Planning Commission does approve this subject to a final submittal for administrative review, the address is shown as 9862 Freeway Drive, Unit B, and the allowable sign area is listed as 40 square feet. The correct address is 746 East Aurora Road, Unit 3, and the allowable sign area is 53 square feet based on the approved sign criteria. So at this time, I did recommend approval, subject to the trim cap and side returns being painted dark metallic gray instead of black.
Do you have any problems with that?
As long as, I mean, it's a franchise, so I'm sure it's fine, we don't have options.
Well, what people see will be your logo and your sign, which is the important thing. You know, what's holding the sign up there,
Oh, you're talking about the hold it up.
and the returns and around the sign, there's sometime on the sidewalk, you won't even notice the difference,
The
probably.
faces will stay the same, so we
Yeah.
proposed.
That's the important part of the business. Okay, any other questions? Do we have any other?
Spec Papa John's, is that that plaza there? Okay.
Any other comments from anybody? No? How about questions or comments from the commission? Anybody? All right, do I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Second it.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? I think you're, yeah. Are you gonna be there? Are you the sign company or?
I'm the owner of Fantastic Paint.
Are you
My
really?
franchise.
How cool is that? Oh, good luck. Okay.
Okay, but who do I think now?
Well, you go to the building department, so when you come in the driveway, right here, immediately you'll see a canopy, and that's the building department. You go up the steps, and they'll take care of you right there. Okay.
All right.
We'll need to do an occupancy inspection also before you open.
Yeah, yes, well, they'll have their starting on, so.
Great.
Yeah, they'll keep you posted as you go on,
Okay.
and they're real helpful in the building.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Nice seeing you. Okay, next will be proposed 3 new cabinet signs and existing monument sign at 316 East Highland Road. Do we have anybody here to address that? Yes, sir, there you are. Comments from Brian?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. March 11th memo for 7-Eleven monument signage modification. The proposal is to alter an existing ground monument sign located in front of the building at 316 East Highland. The property is zoned B4 Highway Business. The purpose of the modification is to change the gas pricing from manual changeable copy to digital copy. There is no overall modification to the overall area of the sign. It will remain the same. So my comment is the only item really for review is whether the use of digital copy for gasoline pricing is permissible. And I look to section 117909B of the Planning Zoning Code, which does regulate dynamic displays. And based on the requirements, I don't readily see why this proposal can't be approved as submitted. Just a comment, and I think a minor comment, but the property is located in the town center district and must comply with the requirements of chapter 1172 of the Planning Zoning Code. I felt that because this is a sign modification and a very minor change overall, I believe the proposal complies with the town center architectural requirements, but it should be confirmed with the city architect prior to approval.
All right, any other comments?
It's just replacing the existing, same structure, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Frame's not changing.
right. Just new cabinets on.
All right, any other questions, comments? Do I have a motion?
Motion approved.
I'll second it.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. All right, on the way. See, that didn't take too long. But
I have another question, can I ask while I'm here?
Sure.
Steak and Shake, do you remember I was here a couple months back? They wanted the sign reduced. Where are we at on that? Are they gonna approve it, or?
Somebody called and said, asked if they could just put it back to the way it was. And I think they were told yes, but they haven't done it yet.
No, but Steak and Shake wants to keep that. They want to know if they can file a variance or something to allow
Yeah.
it. Because
Yeah, they would
it's-
have to go to the BZA then, yes.
And I said I would ask while I was here. Okay. Thank
go to
you.
the building department, they'll set you.
They will pass. I mean, it's like a foot bigger.
Who knows?
than-
Variances are,
It's
Our-
the same frame.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was there, but it just made the changeable copier, made the sign bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, variances are, you know, when reviewing variances, you look at something that's referred to as the Duncan factors for dimensional variances. So you can take a look at our zoning code, and it's really, the evidence is on the applicant to provide that it meets those criteria or exceeds those criteria, and document that to the city.
And I went, no, we want to leave it, and file a variance.
Yeah, and that's all they'd have to do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other business for this evening?
I was gonna ask, Get to Go, that didn't come tonight. They probably was sent a signed person anyway, so it wouldn't help, but did they ever end up doing anything about their access drives, submit anything to the city, or I think we approved it as a write-in, write-out, unless they came back with something else and wanted to
Nick has received a traffic report on it. I don't think he's had time to go through it yet, but he has some issues with some of their assumptions.
Okay, good. Oh, another one, the church we approved the sign for over there, what's it, by Longwood, what's?
Yeah, way down there.
Were they supposed to put a?
Yeah, they will. They
Okay.
will in this spring. Yeah, they're doing it
Okay.
themselves, so they had to wait for the weather
Okay,
to get there, yeah.
okay, just curious about that.
All right. Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
We just had a question whether
Oh,
there was
I'm
any,
sorry.
yeah, whether there was any update on the follow-up with Joe Deemer regarding, definitions of use and use versus as part of private recreation.
The only thing that I've received so far is that a precedent's been set with Fun and Stuff, which is a private facility that you can rent. That's all I've been told so far, nothing else. I've asked more than once.
Did you hear something, or did somebody just tell you?
They told me that. I didn't receive anything in the mail.
Yeah, see here with Fun and Stuff, it doesn't abut residential property.
I
There's
don't know
general.
if that matters when you're in an LI district. It's what the LI district requirements are.
I believe Fun and Stuff is in GI, general.
No. The general goes right down the middle of the road, Island Road.
I mean, this has been a month since we've been here last, and we can't get no answer on this. I mean, I
Well,
don't understand.
there's no deal yet. There's no deal, they're still working on the deal. There's absolutely no agreements been made between the city and the developer. Nothing's happening there. So everything is just stagnant, and I have questioned more than once, how do we do this as far as ruling? And I was told over the phone, it's gotta be the same as Fun and Stuff, it's an LI. I can't remember. I really can't, it's been a while. No, it's not a formal opinion.
Yeah, last time I was here, I was told, my wife was told, that we would get a speedy response as far as a ruling of public versus private in L1 zoning, which is behind our property. It never came, that was a month ago.
Correct. But there's no deal. So I think the lawyers are, it might even be at the frame of mind that it might not even happen. So it would be a moot point. That's where we're at right now. There's no agreement, they can't even reach an agreement between the lawyers because it keeps changing on their end. Not on our end is, well, these are the things you need to conform to, and they want to keep changing on their end. And the city's not agreeing to it, and they are asking it, when will this deal go through? And the question should be put to them, when are you gonna be ready for this deal to go through? You have to give us your proposals. We don't have that yet. We have nothing in building, nothing in engineering, nothing in the lawyer's office that's been approved. So it might not even happen.
All right.
If it comes down to it, when it comes down to it, your question will be answered. I'm sure I'll have it in writing. I'll have it in writing. But to this point, I can't even tell you how many times I say what's happening with this. In fact, I notify the other planning commissioners when I go through this and ask. So there has been no determination yet, and I think it's only because there's no deal yet.
Okay. Would that would go through the, in other words, would we be notified? How would we find something out?
Well,
I mean,
you know, the thing is, Janelle, maybe we can ask Kayla to follow up, because it will be coming before us, which doesn't require the notification the BCA does. But we out of courtesy, and Sonia, I'm sure that I will be telling you, oh, there's something to move in here.
just so that if there's a meeting we'd like to attend.
Oh, yeah.
But like,
Absolutely.
even on the city website, it'd be nice, the agenda would show what's going to be on the agenda. So anyone that's involved with anything might show up and speak their mind. I mean, I've been checking, I just checked before we left the house too, and there was nothing. You would think that,
You mean
like
in
council
regards?
agendas go out, you know, a week before or even days before. And you guys get, I think the building, your planning commission gets a packet, don't they, as to what's going to be discussed? Why
Correct.
can't, at that time, why can't it go on the city website?
It typically does. We send it over to have it uploaded onto the website.
Okay, well, it wasn't this time.
Well, it's not on the agenda.
I'm just saying the whole agenda.
The whole
Yeah.
agenda
Oh,
goes
the
out.
The agenda is
agenda.
typically uploaded.
Yeah.
It might not-
Janelle would be the one to know.
They might not put it on the calendar, but it's under like,
Yeah,
planning commission.
yeah, that would
There's
be
a-
nice if it's there. So, I don't know why they didn't upload it this time.
Well, I think, was it, one of the months it was canceled, so there wasn't an agenda for that one. And then this one, I'm not sure why it wasn't uploaded, but typically it is uploaded onto the website.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Well, that's not very enthusiastic if you guys want to stick around, and it's fine with me.
Order a pizza.
Yeah, we have a motion on the floor, do I have a second? We have a motion and a second, I would say we're adjourned. Thank you for coming, keep you posted. It goes to our people and manager, our website.